G'day guys, Josh here. Hope you guys are having a great day today. So I want to try a different type of series today. So more of trying to help newer players get into the game of Lost Ark because realistically with Lost Ark is it's a full-on experience when you get into the game. And I want to kind of use like this kind of experience or whatever I have. I've played Lost Ark, a lot of stuff I've learnt through the course of it, and gone through the good things and the bad things and stuff like that as well. But I want to pass that knowledge on to the newer players who are just getting their first time into Lost Ark and want to know like the ins and outs and what the systems are usefully for. So this is like a kind of a new type of series. So we're just basically going at baby steps at a time. Some of you guys may be like, oh, I already know this, okay? But this is mainly for a different kind of audience where they're mainly just, newer players. So we'll get into basically the rundown first of all. So we go start from the start basically as well. So generally, if you're a newer player, your roster will be basically empty and you have a different roster background. In fact, your roster background will be this one, the Pride Home background, which, looks pretty awesome. Not going to lie, looks very, very awesome. You can see here, lovely church in the background and a few of your tunes, sitting down. But pretty much like, your character screen will be basically empty and you go into your first video. Now, you can do the tutorial. I gotta say right now, I probably don't recommend doing the tutorial, but it does give you a little skin accessory, which does help, but it's not needed as per se. But the tutorial goes in and out of your not your abilities as per se, but the basic movement stuff like that as well, because the movement things are pretty different. And I'll go give you an example as well. I'm gonna get on my Deadeye here. Deadeye is a class, my chicken guy here, but it's a multiple different classes you can go. So with the Deadeye, it's part of the gunner role. So Deadeye, you can go Deadeye, Gunslinger, Artillerist. With the Bard, which is the Magician class, you can go Sorceress or Bard, and now Arcanist. Then you got the Warrior class, which you can go Gunlancer, Berserker, Destroyer, Paladin. I'm trying to think of one more, but I can't think of it at the moment. Then you got the Assassin class, you can see here, which is the Deathblade and Shadowblade. And then you got the basically the martial artists, which can be both male and female, which you get the War Dancer, the Striker, the Scrapper, the Soul Fist, a lot of different classes like that. You can see a full class list below. I'm going to put the class list below on the Lost Ark website in the English version. Be aware that these classes may, update over the meantime while we're going through this and basically as the game goes along. So always pay attention at Lost Ark game site of what character you want to go. I'd recommend just checking all the characters out to see what fits your build. For me, it was the Deadeye. The Deadeye, like the, male guy, sweet hair with guns. Not really anything to do with the meta or anything like that. A lot of people pick the meta, so basically a bunch of people have got Berserkers, Deathblades, and also a support character as well. My main is just basically what I felt at the time, basically. So just go through the characters and select one that, suits you, basically. Overall, the classes do similar amount of damage. It's just the ease of access for some of the classes to do their high damage skills. But just be aware, like, if you're good enough and you're used to the game and used to the mechanics enough, you'll do great. Now, that's basically the character selection done in a nutshell. With Lost Ark as well, as we get into the game, you do want to level up as many characters as possible, but you want to do it in such a way that when you do enter the game, you get 2 Vern power passes when you get to Northford on your main. So what you want to do, first of all, is do the story on your main and then use the Vern power passes to power up your ults. The main reason why you want to do this is that, which we'll discuss in a later video, the main reason why you want to do this is because it helps you out in tier 1, okay? And there are different tiers, which we'll discuss as well. Pretty much here with a Deadeye, you basically get, this is a later tier, but you'll get put in a village called Pride Home, and basically you get your first mount, and you get your first pet. So you can see here, there's my pet Nessie, it's a cat. Basically, you do get a pet from the vendor, and they just give you a random pet, which basically picks up all your loot for you. So that's what they're used for. You also get a first mount, which is just a random horse mount, and it allows you to just mount up and just ride around, basically. You get these fairly early on in Pride Home. Then you also get the Song of Return and Triport, which allows you to teleport all across the place here. Now, when you get to Pride Home, which is in Lutera, which is in the Reframus, so you get to this zone here, there's these little things called triports here. So basically, you'll be able to access them, and then you go through the zone bit by bit by bit, and you get basically triports as you go along. Unlike Diablo and other isometric games, there's no one base as per se for like the game of where you basically do quests and go back to that area. It's basically just a gauntlet to the next few areas effectively as you quest along in the story. Now, with the story missions, I recommend to do the story and the side missions as well. Why it's important to do the side missions? Because eventually, when you do use those power passes that I mentioned previously, will be in the future video, basically all those missions will be completed for you, and you lose some benefits in the future as well. But overall, let's just go through the basic controls. It is a click adventure kind of thing. Like you can click the move. Basically, if you hold down your left mouse button cursor, you will move. Also, you can do X auto move, which is hit T, and you auto move in the direction that you're facing. And basically, what you have to do is just click on a certain area, and your character will move there automatically. So you can either hold left mouse button down, or just click the move, basically like this. Now, your abilities are listed to Q, W, E, R, A, S, D, F at the start. Your right click or C is your auto attack. And also as well, those are the basic, key binds to move and access things as well. Now, we talked about pets and stuff like that as well. They'll tell you how to access pets, which is, as you can see here, you can go to the guide menu. You can access your pets, your mounts. You can use the codex as well, which details all the, everything. It's like a big encyclopedia of what is needed as per se. You can access the world map, which tells you where you are and what triports you can teleport to. You can use the world map. For example, let's just say you finish a mission on Log Hill. You can use the world map to go back to Pride Home if you need a hardy quest. You can just click the triport and go there. Obviously, I can't click at the moment because triports are only unique to the continent that you're on. So if you're not on Rephimus, the continent, you can't triport back here. However, Rephimus, Ludia, Utera, these areas are all linked. So you can go from East Latera to Rephimus as long as it's on the same continent. Overall, this is just a basic how-to guide. We'll go through the guide a bit more as well. You can go to the training room and training area. Basically, this is just to hone up on your skills and introduce you to more mechanics. These are a further in-depth tutorial guide that will tell you how to do specific things in the game if my videos don't give enough for you either. Now, there are a few other things as well, and we'll go through that now. We've got the memory chamber, which is you can replace cinematics and events here. The achievements, which is basically there's a couple of achievements that you can earn here as well. So you can see order here and stuff like that as well, which basically can give you a bit of credit. So you just got some unique achievements here with Inferno. Basically got some normal achievements and stuff like that from all the Una dailies. And, there's also unique achievements as well, basically in here as well, which you can check out. And if you're an achievement person that goes for all the achievements, then basically you'll be smashing these out pretty quickly. The next one is the titles. Basically, you can put a prefix and a suffix, or you can do a complete title here. And also as well, you can, there's a few things here as well, basically, okay? So, a lot of titles here that you can use, basically. Now, next one is going to be the engravings effect. So, engravings, they do discuss it quite a bit. So, engravings, it basically, you can get books which can teach you engravings. Like there's green books, blue books, purple books, and orange books. Green books is the first one. Once you get 20 of those learnt, you get free power nodes to a node. And that means you can equip this by pressing P, which draws up your gear. You can equip this. I'll get rid of my webcam for a few seconds for you guys. You can equip this here. You can equip engravings here. So you can drag this engraving and put it here and it auto equips. And vice versa with any of the other engravings. So that's pretty much what the engraving effect is. Is that's how you drag an engraving to be equipped here, basically. Remember, you can equip 2 engravings, okay? You can equip 2 engravings just like that. Now, next part of the roster menu is the the card catalog. So basically, later on, when you get to max level stuff like that, card decks actually do matter. And the main ones that do matter will depend on your max roll guide or build guide that you are following. You can follow a build guide on max roll, which I highly encourage you to do so. The main reason why you want to follow one of those build guides, it gives you just like a beginner's edge, when you get to the later tiers and stuff like that. Early on, you don't really have to worry about a build. Just basically build something that you feel like will clear out a lot of enemies, okay? That's pretty much it, because you don't really need a set meta build, because a lot of these max roll builds are for endgame until much later. But for card decks, for example, just look at the max roll guide and just get an idea of what cards are you seeking for. Don't throw out any other cards at all, because the cards, even though they may not be the right ones, they do give you some boosts. As you can see here, they do give you some boosts with, having the 5 cards of this set. And as you can see here, just give you a little bit of boost on the side as well, which I highly recommend to just be aware that, hey, there are little boosts you can get from getting all the cards as well. You can also extend your card catalog as well with crystals by buying these up as well. But we're not going to talk about further into the cards yet because you guys are just new to the game, so you won't know about all this yet. The last one is roster information, and with roster information, basically all your characters are just like a mini team. So basically anything that your characters do, build up your roster level, and by building up your roster level, you make your other toons and your main toon stronger slightly. And this is how it's done. Now also there's also roster bonus virtues as well, where you do get bonuses from your roster and from the skins that you have as well. Now let's get through the main stats here. By pressing P, you can get, a list of this basically. So basically specialization basically you can go through the stats here, bit by bit by bit. Specialization will depend on your class. Crit, domination, swiftness, endurance, expertise are different. Now with expertise, it talks about the additional stagger damage bonus. Basically enemies can be either staggered or CC'd. Staggered, there's a separate bar for some mechanics. Some of them are visible, and extra stagger damage depletes that bar quicker or makes the opponent be stunned where you can do additional damage to him. Endurance just increases your defenses, basically. Swiftness increases your movement speed, attack speed, and ability cooldowns. Domination, basically what it does, it increases your damage dealt to staggered foes. It's not really a strong PvE talent, but it's a pretty strong PvP talent. And as I said with specialization, it really depends on your class. Basically, it'll describe to you, for Deadeye, for example, my crit damage, shotgun damage, and rifle damage, armor ignorance increases, and my awakening, which is this ability V, it's what they call the awakening, the ultimate ability, increases. And crit is just simply that your crit rate increases. Basically, with crit damage, it deals 2 times the damage of a normal attack. Now, attack power is from your dexterity. Basically, I believe it's 1 dexterity equals 1 attack power. And basically, there's other engravings that can increase your attack power, such as you'll see. And also, basically, max HP, which it comes from your vitality, and vigor, which is a different stat that you get in relic tier that you don't have to worry about yet. And those are your different stats so far. Now, there's also skins and virtues. Virtues are important for rapport and communicating with the open world. Basically, you unlock certain options by having a high virtue. The virtue stats are gathered by doing side quests, by doing hidden quests, by completing your adventurer's tome, and by doing rapport. These things will be discussed later, but this is how your social stats increase, and these help you out quite a bit. This will help you quite a bit in achieving optimal results or building rapport even quicker by having these stats as high as you can. We've discussed engravings before. Basically, when you equip the engravings, some of your items have engraving points in them, and Ability Stone has engraving points into it as well. And this dictates, what engravings you've got. Like, if you max your Ambush Master engraving. Basically, there are 15 nodes per engraving. So basically, your first 5 nodes gets level 1, next 5 get 2, and next 5 get 3. And this is pretty much like, a basic endgame tier set. There's also gems. Don't worry about gems. Gems we'll talk about in tier 2. They're basically tier 2, tier 3 exclusive. And cards we've already talked about already. As you can see here, by wearing a certain card deck, you get certain sets as well. But anyways, guys, that's just a bit of a beginner's look at the game at the moment. Just basically, you can rewatch this video and soak it all in. And if you want to do some extra research or extra information on some of these things, feel free to ask me on my Twitch channel, Twitch TV, only Josh and TV. Ask in the comments. And if you felt this is helpful, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to know something a bit different, put something in the comments as well, and I'll probably explain that area in a lot better detail for you guys as well. If not, just enjoy your first, time in Lutera, and I hope you guys have a great time in Arkesia and Lost Ark, and hope you guys have a great day. See you guys later.